Alright, hello interwebs, welcome to Let's Fix Computers. I'm doing a request today. I had a message from someone asking how to tighten or replace the hinges on a 13-inch MacBook Pro. Well, it's the first request I've received actually, but because I have a MacBook Pro myself, I thought actually I could show you guys how to do this. So my particular one is a 15-inch, however the principles are pretty much the same, so I thought it's worth doing anyway. So what I'm going to do is start off by taking off the bottom cover. There's two places that the hinges can become loose at. The first is directly underneath this cover, which I'll show you in a moment, and the second ones are on the display assembly. So they're a little bit more tricky to get to because you've got to actually take the display assembly off to get to them. But it's not too difficult, so this is definitely something you could do at home. Okay, so firstly, the hinges are here and here. We've got to take a couple of bits off to get to the actual hinge screws, so we'll start on the, for argument's sake I'm going to call the right hand side. This is actually the left because the laptop is upside down, but we're going to call it the right. So I'm going to remove the display connector, just lift that locking lever and then push it that direction. And then we need to remove the screws of this black part here. It's a cable tidy basically. That comes out. Now, hopefully I've got that at the right angle. There is the bottom of the hinge. So those are T6, I believe. Yep, those are T6 screws, so make sure that those are nice and tight. I'm going to get to the other one on the other side. I'm going to remove these, pull these cables all back to get to that one, and then once I remove these screws, the display assembly comes off. Right, notice I've only removed 2 screws from each side. You'll want to open the laptop to, I don't know, 80, yeah, about 50 degrees or so. You'll see what I mean in a minute. You'll need to do that in order to jimmy out the hinge because it sort of hooks in and under. So now I'll take off the last 2 screws. And that will kind of hook out and under. I need to be open a bit more. If you can't get it out, use a screwdriver just to give you a little bit of leverage to get that hinge open a bit further. Just repeat. There we go. Just carefully put the body of the laptop out of the way. This wireless assembly, if I pull this cable out it will come out, but my one seems to be stuck in pretty good, so I'm just going to let that hang out. Okay, so next we need to remove this part here. This is going to slide to the right and then come off. just got to jimmy it over the cables. There we go. And then we'll find the other part of the hinges. So the 13-inch one probably doesn't have this spring assembly, but the 15-inch and 17-inch ones do. This spring assembly makes the screen assembly feel very light. So when you close it, it tensions the spring. So when you open it, it feels very light, and so on and so forth. It makes it a lot nicer to use. So those two screws are the ones you want to tighten up. Now, if you're replacing the hinge, you can just unscrew those, and the hinge will come off completely. And it's that simple, basically. So I think these are, nope, those are T6 as well. Yep, those are also T6, so just give those a nudge with your T6 screwdriver. Mine are already tight anyway. So, and that's all you've got to do. And now we're on to the reassembly again. Now, replacing hinges for Macs, and it's more than doable. The parts are available on eBay. Be warned though, they are ludicrously expensive last time I checked. For some reason or other, I think it's because you don't see these laptops at the breakers very often. So the only spare parts are either very rare, which makes them expensive, or they're from authorised repair centres, which makes them even more expensive. So don't bother replacing it unless it's actually broken. Hopefully you should just be able to tighten it up. Just to put things in perspective, last time I changed a hinge was on a first generation MacBook Air, and if my memory serves me, the hinge was something like £30 or £40 per side. Whereas by comparison, the average Windows laptop, you're looking at about, I don't know, 20 quid for a set of full hinges for both sides. So as I say, you're looking like, you know, probably 4 times more expensive along those lines. So, right, I'm going to put this back together now. This cover part, the flat side, should be facing towards you from this angle. And then you need to sort of hook it over everything. If you've just spotted what I've done, then enjoy a little bit of a giggle. I thought something was awfully wrong then. Right, now on the reassembly, I recommend just putting in one screw at each end, and then once you've got the screen assembly sort of located and in place, you can put in the rest. If you try and put them all in at the same time, you'll probably find that the holes don't seem to line up properly. There's a lot of room for adjustment on these hinges, so you need to make sure that you tinker around with it before you tighten everything up. Right, now I've closed it and I'm just adjusting it to make sure that the screen is sitting flush around all sides, so it's perfectly lined up. Just pushing it into place, and now I'll just loosen and retighten the screws. doesn't feel right to me. These silver bits here, they should be reaching across to the other side to provide a grounding contact. And this one isn't quite reaching over, so I think this hinge is too far toward me. So I'm just going to take that out and readjust that side. Right, if you haven't taken this apart before at this point, it's often a good idea just to give things a bit of a dust out. Mine is reasonably clean at the moment because this laptop gets serviced on a regular basis, but just use a paintbrush or something just to dust out anything that you can see. And if you've got some compressed air, blow out the fans. Other than that, we're done. Bottom cover back on. So at this point my camera battery chose the most perfect time to go flat on me, so you've seen everything here, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Commence battery failure in 3, 2, 1.